right.
Episode 1 is on SoundCloud.
Episode 1 is on SoundCloud. Checking in.
So what I'm planning on doing is that a week, just like every.
I mean, hell yeah, dude. That's dope.
do that, so.
We're on SoundCloud. Dude, I had a song. I have a song on SoundCloud.
No way.
I swear to God, I do. It's it's so funny, dude. A whole bunch of my buddies, freshman year, living in the dorms. Dude, we made a rap. Like, we were living in Freddie, and then like we had some friends living over in Blair Shannon, like right across the street. Mm-hmm. So like they challenged us to like a diss track sound. Dude, it's so bad, but that's what we did.
Kind of like what's his name? Like Cody Co or whatever.
Oh yeah, yep.
Kind of like all his
just
stuff.
like that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so stupid. But hey, I'm out there. So we got 2 things on SoundCloud now. We got a rap and then episode 1.
Episode 1 so far. Yeah.
Episode 1, I like it.
Episode 1. So yeah, I just like, unfortunately I can't schedule it, which is kind of disappointing.
I mean,
but yeah, it still is something. But
yeah, that's all right.
Anyway, ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Grant and Tyler here with another Gym Talk, episode 3.
Episode 3, folks. We are checking in. And what do we got today?
Today we've got Amazon, or organic Amazon Energy.
Organic Amazon Energy. I gotta say, I've never heard of this.
I just picked it up at Mama Jean's.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Organic Amazon Energy. Have you ever had this before?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about it. I have no idea. Like, look at this. I have no idea what this is.
It's got a good taste, a decent amount of sugars in it. It's got, typically, it's the green tea extract, so it's going to be a little bit more natural caffeine. I actually don't mind it. I mean, people who have been to Mama Jean's or any sort of like natural organic store.
Kind of like a Whole Foods.
Yeah. So I mean, like this is pretty good. It's equivalent to like 2.5 shots of espresso. So
2.5 shots of espresso. I've never had, like, I don't even like coffee. Yeah. I've never had coffee, so I'm assuming
it's equivalent to the caffeine.
Okay, so what flavor are we working with here? Passion fruit.
Yeah. Passion fruit,
okay.
Acai berry.
Acai berry.
Acai berry.
Excited.
Yeah, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've had these before. I had it for a workout once, and I honestly wanted to know what your thoughts were on it. It was either this or another one that I've had previously. So want to get to some point where we both haven't had it, and then we'll just kind of go for it. So.
Awesome.
But anyway,
how did it make you feel? Did you have a crash afterwards, or?
Not really, no. I mean, again, it's pretty small compared to like a Monster or compared to the first one we had. I mean, this is minuscule. So I figured like in the day we kind of just get a lighter one anyway. Sure. You know, so but yeah, ready to try it?
Let's do it, man.
All right.
It almost looks like.
Smell it.
Ooh, it smells really good.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna let it coagulate on the taste bud. Let it coagulate.
That's such a weird word, coagulate. Like cheese. Yeah. Coagulating. I'm like, that's such a weird word.
It tastes, I kind of like this taste actually. Passion fruit. Is it aki berry? Acai berry? Acai berry. I mean, I don't mind the taste, honestly. I was gonna say though, this looks like one of those margaritas like that come in these cans. It's called like Cayman Jacks
or something like that.
Yeah, like something like that. That's exactly what I thought it was. I'm like, yo, we're about to have a little fun lift this afternoon.
Hey, I mean, if you want, have them. So, but anyway, we kind of have a little bit of an agenda on this episode.
Yes.
We're going to be discussing about influencers.
Influencers, folks.
So it doesn't have to be gym related. It can be anyone of like online. It can be
anyone you follow.
Parents.
Anyone you follow, honestly. Pretty much. It can be social media and non-social media, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, as far as influencers go, I have a couple people who I follow regarding fitness online, and then obviously you have your peers, your friends through work and whatever else, and then just people who you look up to as well.
Right.
I guess if you want to start with like social media, there's this one guy who I follow. His name's Zach Zeiler. He's up and coming bodybuilder. He's been doing it for a while now. He had cancer, I think, at 16. And then since then, he's just documenting his life on Instagram and YouTube.
Jeez.
And he just started doing competitive stuff. He's starting to build his physique, and I think he's going to compete in the near future, I believe. But he's someone who I look for, like, who I enjoys content. It's kind of more dark and deep, more emotional motivation,
more raw
stuff. That's what I kind of like fall in line with. Okay. So I like that. So like regarding fitness, that's the main person who I like to follow. And then obviously you see all the other people on YouTube, like all the big names. I mean, you see Steve Cook, you see Callum, you see all of those guys, Bradley, you see all those guys too. Yep. What about you, man?
So my number one person I follow is Flex. Flex Lewis. Yep. Definitely, for sure.
Okay.
Well, what's really funny is that I know a lot about his life, which is kind of creepy. But
well, he puts it out there.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, he does. And so he's just an absolutely outstanding guy. He is total raw. His unfiltered stuff is just off the wall.
Yeah, we watched a couple of days ago. We watched like some unfiltered stuff
with his back workout. It's just
insane,
nuts.
I kind of like that. A lot of people I feel like are going towards that like unfiltered raw, like not all these cool transitions, like black and white, just no cool like music, none of that. I kind of like that. It's a change of pace from what you see with all this other stuff.
So with social influencers, yes. But with bodybuilding influencers, I say no. Like Big Ramy, for instance, right? Big Ramy's, you just listen to it, there's nothing really except for the background and him just literally doing the lifts. Yeah. He grunts a little bit, and that's about it.
That's all
you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas like you see Phil Heath, he's a little bit more of an influencer in my opinion.
Yeah. More of an entertainer.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, because he has music in the background. He talks during his between sets and things like that. So
and then you can almost go from like that all the way up to like David Lade even.
Okay.
Or you see anything like that where it's like if it's like a 15-minute video, 2 minutes of it will be lifting. It's like a vlog about like all these cool like drone shots and cooking and doing all this, talking, going out to eat, doing all this, and then it's like a 2-minute clip of them working out, which I don't gravitate towards. I would much rather watch a 15-minute clip where 13 minutes of it is working out and then 2 minutes of talking here and there. But that's just what I like.
Yeah, no, totally. I definitely get it. And then like with Flex, he's just like, he promotes his products not crazy in your face. He goes, hey, like I personally like these. If you don't like it, that's totally fine, right? Yeah. And that's what I love about him is that he's also very transparent with everyone. He's like, look, I'm not feeling as great today, or look, like I have so many other things I have to do today. I'm not going to be on social, right? And then on top of that, he will actually post his workouts. Like during his workouts, he'll have someone there to do it. So like you're not just going to be like, hey, make sure you watch my YouTube video that's monetized so then I can gain money off of it. You know, it's like, it's just straight up being like, I'm going to show you as much as I can, which is awesome.
I like that. And I feel like if like influencers do that, or YouTubers, or like even if you have a company or a business or whatever it is, like if you don't push your product in your face and you just do you and people gravitate towards your personality, they're more likely or inclined to buy your product or buy your workout plan or whatever it is. Like, I think that's huge. Like if somebody's like the guy who I follow, Zach Zeiler, like I don't feel pressured, or I don't feel like I need to pay money for him to continue his content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I enjoy his personality. I like what he's doing. Therefore, I gravitate towards stuff like that he would put out. You know?
No, totally.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge selling point, because like if you're gonna make a big long spiel about working out and all this stuff, and at the very end you're like, hey, well, pay me this. And then it almost like takes away everything that you just said. And I get that you have to make a living and do all that stuff too. So totally. it's you just got to find the balance. I feel like.
Right. How about anybody outside of the spectrum, the fitness?
Outside of the fitness spectrum, someone who I like listening to. He was he was an American author. His name was Alan Watts, and I love listening to his stuff on YouTube. I believe he's no longer with us, but just his insight with just life in general. He was a really educated man. He just talks about, I guess, society and a whole bunch of different things, and not to get pressured down into thinking to let others sway your opinion one way or the other, I guess. He's just like a real free thinker, and I really like that kind of stuff. So Alan Watts is someone who I really like listening to on YouTube. Yeah, that's not in the fitness industry at all. Like I said, he was like an American author. So that's who I like.
Was he in that video you posted with us going up to Kearney? Whenever we did that arm day, remember that?
Oh yeah, that was him. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. What about you, man? Non-fitness people who you gravitate towards.
So I gravitate towards. Well, I mean, like one of them, honestly, the company would be like it'd be a company more than anything.
Sure.
Because of how they came to be was super inspiring, and which it's freaking nuts. Like I mentioned before, Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
So Rooster Teeth is a company. It's a gaming company. They do focus on gaming and comedy, but at the same time, like they grew that company whenever internet videos weren't even a thing.
Sure.
And they were super innovative, and even though internet, like the internet industry, I guess you could say, social influencers, things like that, have gotten so much backlash. They are continually still making stuff and also growing simultaneously. They are super innovative. It started off with 4 guys, and literally they were like, we're going to quit our job and start this. And they started, I think, in like an apartment or something like that, and they started making videos. So the first ones they made were like red versus blue, and it would take them like months on end to make this one video for like 30 minutes.
So where do they primarily put their stuff out at? Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Some of it's
stream?
actually even on Netflix, and they
really?
also have their own app.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and like they make so much content that it inspires me to start doing other content, right?
Wanting to do stuff.
So for instance, they actually have a podcast called Always Open, which is a little bit more kind of more directed towards women, which is fine. But I mean, they start off with The Shot, right?
Oh yeah.
And I got this idea.
That's kind of neat.
With a pre-workout for a gym thing.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly. So
neat.
like you're actually yeah. So they actually have a bartender like on site in which the guy makes them a shot of like what to have. I mean, it's super cool. It's such a interesting company too because they are super innovative. They started doing like a lot of animation. It started from one person, and now they have a whole department, like within like 8 years.
Wow,
it's nuts. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy how stuff can just start. Like, it's also cool like how they started before like this was even a thing.
Yeah.
Like streaming or being a YouTube personality or getting into the Netflix world, anything like that.
They started probably back in like 2003, 2004.
Which is insane. It's crazy to think if you have an idea and you don't like actively pursue that, and then 5 years later you're like, wow, I missed the boat.
I mean,
it's kind of like with this, like what we're doing here. It's like, I don't want to look back in 5 years and
say,
be like,
what did I do?
Wow, like I should have been putting videos out. I should have been doing this. I should have been doing this. And it's not even where it's as a chore. It's like, I love doing it anyway. So why wouldn't you?
It's even trying something new and getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, like with those guys going back to Rooster Teeth, I'm sure they didn't know how to computer animate.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely not.
And so like I said, they literally had a group of people and they created this. I mean, media conglomerate, you could say. That's it's under a bigger media conglomerate, but I mean, they still created something underneath themselves to form this group, and it's outstanding to see all that stuff. So.
That's insane. Not to cut you off. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, I would hate
inspiring.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like another guy, like back to like people like who influence you. Like, I'm sure that you've heard of him, Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure a lot of people like watching this. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people watching this like have heard of him. That inspired me to start vlogging and start putting stuff out, and like going back to like you were saying with Rooster Teeth, like. I'm sure their very first video, like, if they were to look at it now,
you should see them. It's just pretty funny.
Oh, I'm sure it's just nothing compared to what it is now.
Nothing compared to.
So like, that's the biggest thing, like for me, like to get out of my comfort zone, because I've wanted to like make videos and vlog and do all this different stuff for a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then like I just kept thinking like, oh well, this isn't good, or I'll watch somebody else's vlog and I'll be like,
you'll try to perfect it.
Yeah, and I'll try to perfect it, and I'll think, oh well, I don't know how to make that transition, or I'm not going to do this, so why would I even put something out? And then finally, I just kept listening to Gary Vee, and then I was like, I just have to do it. I just got to put myself out there. I got to get out of my comfort zone. It's not going to be perfect. I don't know all the tips and tricks yet, but I'll learn as I go. So started doing that, and we're doing this here. So I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy to think about. Let's see here. On the top of my head, I can probably think of Rooster Teeth has about like 8 to 10 different podcasts that they do weekly,
which is insane.
I know. It's like that's just blown out of my head, blown out of my mind. But I mean, I started YouTubing, actually fully started like YouTubing in 2017, and again, like you said, I wanted to perfect it. I was like, I didn't think this was good. No one's going to like it. I posted, I think like Shelby and I posted maybe 3 or 4 different videos. Yeah. And we were like, okay, we're done. That's it. And in which we even did some paid, to be honest, because I was like, this doesn't feel right. Yep. And then in 2018, I was like, man, I just need to switch gears. I have to do something creative. Yep. It was like April of 2018, and I was like, I have to do something. And it was still kind of in that awkward stage, which, I mean, that was a huge thing for me. Like, talking to the camera was super weird.
Well, sure. I mean, even if you look at like our first episode, even in this, like you could tell like a huge difference, I'm sure, already. Yeah. Like just getting comfortable in front of it, which is a learning curve, like as you know. Sure. But yeah, as you're saying, not to cut you off though.
No, you're fine.
You were saying like back in 2018 in April, like you started. The gears were starting to go.
Started going a little bit further, yeah. And then I started doing workouts. And the big thing was that people like at the rec, they were telling me, you can't film here.
Sure.
And you can't do this, you can't do that, yada yada yada. And I'm like,
you got to be willing to take a no. You got to live in the world of rejection. You have to.
100%. Because I mean, like I was like, well, I'm not going to do any videos, I guess. And then I was like, well, let me think around it. Mm-hmm. And then I tried to go to this other place, and they told me no. And then I tried to do some other things, some other innovative ideas. Yep. I mean, like I have brainstorming sheets that are just like 40, 50, 60 cells long, and it's nuts. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, now looking at it, it's pretty crazy on how I'm actually able to do a routine schedule for all this. And
what's your mindset like compared to last year? Because I know like in 2019, just like speaking from my own experience, like I started, like I think I posted my first video maybe, it's probably like a year ago. It was a year ago in January, I think, or a year ago maybe early February. So like I've just only been in YouTube for a year, but it was one of those things like I would just do a workout video with some music that I really liked in the background, and then I would post it, and then I get some good feedback, and then I would be like, all right, well, I guess I'll do another one. Right. And so like I did maybe 5 videos like within a year because I wanted to perfect it. I want to do this and this and this and this. And then finally, like when this year started, like 3 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I just have to, this is what I think about all the time. Mm-hmm. I want to vlog. I want to get in front of the camera. I want to create content. I want to get my Instagram up. I want to do all these different things. So I just said, you know what? I don't care if it's perfect or not. I'm just going to start filming, and that's what we've done. And I've already made more videos this year than I did last year. So it's crazy.
Nice.
So
that's awesome, man.
You just got to do it. Like if anyone's out there like watching and like, oh, I want to do that. Right. I want to just do it. Like it's not going to be perfect your first time.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely not.
And then on top of that, you're going to get some misses. I mean, like I have, I think a total of 53 videos. This will be,
which is insane though. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's like 54. But I mean, it's just with a ton of reviews. It's just with a ton of reviews, unboxings, which honestly, like I really enjoy them because like I get the cool supplements and products and things like that.
And you got to do what you like too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. But I mean, I wish I could go back to the workout routine and show people like, hey, this would be a cool workout. But then, you know, those guys typically don't get as many views. And then you also look at internet trolls, which like that's typically what the guys do is that they will go into like, here's the best way how to perfect delts, and then they'll and then they'll get mad at themselves, and then all of the internet trolls will come at them, and then they start coming back at them. So I mean, like, that's typically how a lot of like influencers or social people get famous.
Yeah, I mean, I say bring it on. Like, I say come to the channel,
like
bring it on. Bring it on,
like KO calling everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. I've never been one to like chase the views or chase anything. I've always just wanted to be in the headspace of, hey, this is what I like doing.
Right.
And if other people like it, then great. Because I'd rather have an audience that interacts and enjoys my content rather than looking for views or making a video that I think will be a big hit. I want to make videos that I like, and if other people gravitate towards that, that's awesome.
What's like your routine for the day?
Typical routine?
Yeah, like I mean, what type of mindset do you get like within your day? Like, kind of take me through your day on like your mindset and things like that.
Yeah, so like, I guess you could say even today, like when I woke up today, I was like, all right, so what have I got going on? And something that I incorporated, and if you guys look at my YouTube channel, like on my first vlog, like I wrote down on a note card, like make a vlog. Like every day since this year started on January 1st, I've taken a note card and I write down like one task that I want to accomplish, like one bigger task that I want to accomplish that day.
Wow.
Yep, and so I'll put it right on my door so I see it every time I leave the house. So like today, it was to solidify my volunteer hours for the soup kitchen I'm going to work at over this semester.
That's awesome.
So I've reached out to her. We're good to go. We've got the paperwork done and everything. So now we just have to figure out days that work for us. So just emailing her back and forth to figure out what days work with my schedule, with work, school, and everything else. Mm-hmm. But yeah, every day I'll wake up, I'll write down a simple task, whether it's film a vlog or catch a workout or I don't know, run 2 miles, whatever it is. I always write down what I want to accomplish that day and put it on my door.
So it can be small, but it can also be drastic. Like
kind of what my main thing is that I want to focus on that day. Or if it's like, hey, I have a test in a week or in a couple of days, I'll write down study for 2 hours for kinesiology or whatever it is. Something that I know that I want to accomplish. And then I know when I go to bed that night, I can take it off. And then I just feel a sense of accomplishment.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, awesome. I did that. I accomplished something. Mm-hmm. So it's always on a positive note at the end of the day.
Gotcha. No, definitely.
So that's something that I've started doing, and I love that. It's something that keeps me motivated throughout the day. Mm-hmm. I'm in the right mindset. I'm thinking, all right, well, do I have time to sit down and watch an episode of The Office or whatever it is? Or like, oh, I still need to do this. I still need to do this, or what's going to get me closer to this goal. And then some bigger goals, obviously, that I have written down, like in my house too, like competing in my first bodybuilding show or making 10 vlogs or making a video about this or whatever it is, so
no, it's super cool.
And then also like I listen to a lot of podcasts too, like on the way to school and whatever else, so just always filling myself with some positivity, some good vibes, and then just looking for something bigger than just that day is. That's kind of what in my headspace is going on each day. What about you?
So for me, typically I would like to do something that I love in the morning. Yeah. That's kind of a big thing. So this morning I didn't really do much, but I mean, if you count playing a video game, I guess that is. Yeah. So I mean, like anything, whether it's playing video games, whether it's working out, whether I mean, if it's even listening to a podcast or something like that, I typically try to do that in the morning so I can have the right mindset throughout the day. Yeah. So I mean, like, my days are typically sat at a computer, looking at what people are tweeting at, the profiles I work for, and it's kind of alarming. It kind of sucks, to be honest. So I mean, like, another thing is that I try my best to keep my work at work and home at home.
Sure.
Right, because I mean, like that's how I kind of keep saying, because it's just like. I cannot bring that work to home because that will affect everything. It'll affect everything in my life. So separating work and home, and
how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I mean, like, typically on weekends I don't do anything whenever it comes to work. Weekdays I'll do like 1 or 2 things at home, but I mean, again, they're so small, they're going to be so minuscule that I don't even think about it, that it's just like a simple like text or a simple like change of the Instagram caption, just things like that.
Sure.
But how I typically like kind of go in between is that I have a decent drive from my work to my home. Mm-hmm. So during that time frame, I just kind of get in my own headspace and just expunge work.
Yeah.
And just get rid of it. I mean, just like absolutely just be like, okay, this is what I did today. All right, this is what I'm going to focus tonight, or this is what I'm not going to talk about, you know? So,
sure.
You know, whenever I come home and Shelby goes, how's work? You know, I typically go, oh, it's okay, because of, again, I don't want to think about it.
Sure.
I want to be here.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's good. And it's a balance. I'm sure every day's different. Some days are better than the next. So,
yeah.
You just got to take it with a grain of salt, I feel like.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Well, you know, this didn't really kick in. It's pretty minuscule compared to, again, to like the other ones, so it doesn't really hit you too hard. But I'm about ready to do some chest.
I'm ready to rock and roll. Yeah, we're hitting some chest today and a little tricep.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good day.
I'm looking to do high volume.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gravitated more towards higher volume as of late with my training. I like the 12 rep range, somewhere in there, give or take a couple of reps. I like that a lot more so than going heavy, because I used to go heavy all the time.
Yeah.
I used to do 5 sets of like 5.
Hypertrophy coach, actually, the guy Joe Bennett.
Yep.
He's, I guess, another influencer. He actually just literally posted something about chest, to where he was saying, look, if you can get 10 by 10 on 50 for incline, and then if you can go up to like 180 to do 10 by 10 again, then maybe you can start looking at doing other things in your chest. But if you're really trying to grow your chest, like, just focus on one movement, and that's it. And that's it. So, I mean,
there's something to it, I guess.
Yeah, there's something to it. But
that'll be good. Yeah, I like this. Good flavor. I haven't felt it like I did the last pre-workout, but
it's very small.
It is. It was a good flavor, though. I will say
it's like a Red Bull kind of.
It's almost like a Red Bull, yeah. I feel like the flavor, obviously different, but I have kind of like the same giddy up, almost like a Red Bull. Nothing crazy or overwhelming, but I can kind of feel it a little bit. So it was good, though. It was good tasting.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna go work out, and then. Do you want to do a post show?
Yeah, let's do a post show.
You want to do a post show for
folks?
IG?
Yeah, we'll do a little post show after this too. So
cool. All righty. Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Thanks for checking in.